in the world of planes.
Are they planes? Or are
Well,
they
they're not
jets?
hills.
No. I don't get it.
Planes, hills,
Trains
automobiles.
or automobiles. I don't think they're planes. I think they
Worst
technically qualify as
opening
jets.
ever.
It's
It's like we got the same writing as Top Gun.
You know what, though? All right. So, welcome, everyone, to CanYouTasteMovies.com.
You really got to stop doing that.
Why? I think it's good.
Watch and complain.
Because then people look for Can You Taste It? And they find it. And they're like, that's the same guys for the movie thing. And then they think that we have a side project called CanYouTasteMovies.com.
If you like punishing yourself, please hit the subscribe button.
No one wants to subscribe to this. But my point was that. Oh,
Going to talk this way for the
so
whole
we
review.
went. Welcome to Ken. What are we called again? WatchAComplain.com.
Give up on life.
One day, I'll figure it out. GiveUpOnLife.com probably exists and has way more followers than we do.
Where are we getting all this traffic from? Where's
People are watching
Phil
Watch
and
a Complain and then killing themselves at GoAndKillYourself.com. But
Two
so
websites that's going to get a lot of traffic.
we went to Top Gun and we went opening Top Gun Maverick, and we went opening night or Wednesday or was Wednesday
Friday night, and there was a Wednesday night opening night.
Was that the opening or like a
Did
pre-screening?
we go Thursday
thing?
or Friday?
Well, Friday.
Yeah, so 2 nights after.
So we went and saw Top Gun, and let's just say about this. So before I talk about the movie, which I'll preface was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
This review is awesome.
But the best part of Top Gun, honestly, was the fucking audience, dude. So there's you and I sitting down, right? And then people start coming in. There was already a lot of people in there.
And we're bad enough.
right. And
We're doing our show there.
yeah, we're just talking, interviewing people. We're like, "Do you want to be on Watch a Complain?" And they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Then
Get out of my face.
Then we realized we
Also,
forgot
stop eating my popcorn.
to eat the podcast. Forgot to press record the whole. It doesn't matter. Go on.
So we saw people coming in that were at the back that were in flight jumpsuits.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not going to insult anybody that does cosplay because I I don't do any cosplay, but I'm a big Star Wars geek. But it begs the question: did the couple that had that jumpsuit, are they legit jumpsuits, or did they buy them because Top Gun from '86 was the best goddamn movie they've ever seen, and then they bought those jumpsuits?
I would say one. Normally you would not pause it. Normally you would guess that it was just they're cosplaying, right?
Yeah.
They just bought the suits and they had fun with it, which is all the power to them, right?
Yep.
But then we're a military town.
That's what got me thinking about it.
We have a military college here. We have a lot of military
is it
representatives.
mostly Navy here though, but I honestly do not know.
I wouldn't know. I don't pay attention. But then, so I'm going to guess cosplayers.
Okay. So there's people coming in dressed as jumpsuit people. And I'm like, okay, great. And then the fucking place starts packing with people. And
It was weird because all of a sudden there was like a line of people. It's like someone was just bottlenecking.
And there was like a couple. So what I liked was the couple that came in with 5 kids, like 5 boys.
Yeah,
I would
that
say
was-
10 and under.
That was not a good choice.
But imagine, I thought those kids would be a bit older because I imagine that Top Gun, the first Top Gun, got that couple so horny that they were just fucking nut like rabbits for like 5 straight years, and then they shit out these 5 kids.
Well, at least the first one.
Well, they were all like under 10, but maybe the boys are just like, dude, I love fucking jets, and that's why they brought them. So the movie and okay, sorry, one more thing. As we're sitting down there, it was a good mixture of ages in the audience, but the majority, so the people beside me were kind of young, people beside you were kind of young. The majority of the people in this audience were like, I want to say maybe 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
Like they were, I'd say they were in their 50s or early 50s.
I was going to say like 80 because you're 75, obviously.
I was born in 1814.
Yeah.
But so
I saw a movie
these
about that.
couples, no, 1814? Don't know. What important thing happened in 1814?
Fuck if I know. I don't know what happened yesterday.
You should watch us at complainabouthistory.com.
I almost didn't come here today.
You shouldn't have. Why'd you not come here? We'll have to cut this out. Now you'll have to pay attention to cut this part out.
It was part of the joke. I forgot. It's part of
See, you ruined
memory
it
issues.
because you brought seriousness.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, you know what's gonna happen?
I'm not cutting any of that out.
It's babble, and then it cuts to me. Anyways, so okay,
We did that for one of the last episodes. Did that? It was just like
The
I had
movie-
to cut something out.
the movie starts, and it's. I remember I turned to you and I was like, "What song are they gonna get to replace fucking Danger Zone?" Because Danger Zone from the 1986 was the raddest, cowabungaist song fucking ever. And I'm like, how are they going to replace it? I was really genuinely curious what they would. I didn't know if it would be like a new Kenny Loggins song. I don't know what it would be. What song starts fucking rocking and rolling as soon as they start showing the fucking planes all over this aircraft carrier? But Danger Zone, and I'm like, holy fuck! And you can see people in the audience like, fuck yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, the new age hippie rock version.
And I was not on board. At this point, I was still making fun of the audience. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then,
Can we just make a small reference to the fact that they messed up during, not the trailers, but right before that, like.
The audio?
The audio in one of the advertisements was just like.
Like everybody covered their fucking
Oh my
ears.
God. It was insane. Like, I don't know what happened there, but.
I finished my Soda Stream. We should do a Can You Taste It on Soda Stream flavors. Fuck! Ignore that sound. Nothing fell. At least it was empty. On to the next part. So we made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah. So
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. And then you're like, here's Tom Cruise, and you're giving the whole history of Tom Cruise.
By the way, we're doing a review on Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And
Not the first one.
So these are the only two parts of the movie that I care. Oh, sorry. The only two parts that I want to kind of make fun of, and then I'll talk about what was actually pretty good about it. They all the pilots from Top Gun, or they're supposed to go into Top Gun, or they're going into Top Gun. They were the best of the best, so they've gone to Top Gun, which is what Tom Cruise is
The
training
new
in.
class.
They all meet in this bar that's run by Jennifer Connelly, and who cares? She's someone, doesn't matter. But anyway, they all meet.
She was in 16 Candles.
No, she was not.
I don't know.
Jennifer Connelly
Was she in Hulk?
Yeah, she was in
Okay.
the,
She was
the
with
Eric Bana one.
Eric Bana, yeah.
But man, when Jennifer Connelly first got on the scene, remember I believe her first movie was Labyrinth, that Jim Henson movie, and then she did a movie for I believe John Hughes made it called Career Opportunity. She was in The Great Requiem for a Dream.
Nope, didn't see
she
that.
did a movie with Don Johnson called directed by I believe Dennis Hopper called The Hot Spot.
I didn't see that.
Where she was not on board with this women should be rail thin look.
Good.
She was a devastatingly attractive young woman. She's still very attractive.
I'm glad she changed the industry.
She's still very attractive, but she got on board with that women should eat like a blade of grass a day because they don't want to be too fat. Nobody likes fatties. And I was like, ooh, nope, that doesn't work for me. Besides the point, all of these pilots come in and their names are like, what were their names? Like Handjob and Buck Butt and Flim Flam and Dig Door and all these fucking names.
Thunder Force.
And so what the fuck's his name? Handjob? Blowjob? Hangman. There's the word.
Oh, yeah.
So there was the one guy, Hangman. Hangman's and he's the smarmy ice guy of this one, right? So they're like, hey, Hangman. Why do they call you Hangman? Because I'll never leave you hanging. That's not true. He'll always leave you hanging. What are you talking about, Phoenix? This is for men, and you're a girl. Goddamn right I'm a girl. I'm a girl that can beat you any way I want to. What are you And it was that for 15 minutes, all right? It was these guys just jerk each other off already. Dude,
Yeah.
just kiss each other.
It was very misogynistic, and
It wasn't. It was misogynist.
It was.
light.
It was.
But it was misogynist light. It
wa-
didn't
it
go
was
overboard.
Misogyny, the bar. Like,
I feel like it didn't go overboard. It could have gone a lot worse.
Okay,
there was
yes,
no
yes.
jokes like they call it cockpit, like that stupid fucking joke in Miss Marvel.
this day and age,
Marvel.
this day and
Captain
age's version of misogyny.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
What you
Woke
can get away
misogyny.
with. Yeah, woke misogyny.
But so they're doing this, and so I remember. So this made me laugh when I thought about it in hindsight. Is out of my periphery, I saw Phil look over at me, and you started laughing. And I realized the reason you started laughing was my face was going, like, this is the most confused look of what the fuck are we listening to? And
I swear, multiple times I saw Rob's head just go back and go, "Oh my God, why am I here?"
why am I here? But so when Flim Flam and Hand Job and Bing Bong are all like fucking jacking off all over each other,
including the woman that's part of this,
Phoenix,
like, you would think she would be like the new age, like
you'd think she would rise above.
yeah. No, she was just as like
she had
just
a
as
large
obnoxious. Penis.
Yep, that's right. And she was like, "Everybody, look at my dick. It's the biggest one here."
Yep.
Whole reason I bring this up is I looked at, as always, I'm always people watching when I go to the movies, and I'm looking at the couples that were there. The fucking guys were like, "Oh God, oh yeah, say more." Oh, like they were loving it.
And
the
the
guys
women were down in their laps.
If they could have been, they would have been. The guys were loving it. And the women were looking at their men like, "Oh, he's fucking, oh, God, this is good." They loved it. So then plot happens. I'm not going to bore anybody with the plot outside of, we'll say whether we think people should go see it or not. The next part that comes up is, so check this out. This is real indicative of Phil's sexuality.
Oh.
Is we're watching the movie and plot happens and who cares?
Yes.
And then it gets to the part where everybody's topless and fucking greasy and muscles and they're fucking touch football and they're fucking slapping asses.
You mean Nerf football?
They're slapping asses.
I think it was a Nike ball,
and
but
they're
still.
fucking high-fiving and chest bumping, and these fuckers are hot as fuck.
I had to pick a time to go pee.
Decides at this point to get up and go to the bathroom.
I had already decided, and
Now,
then I realized
there's a whole bunch of couples in this audience.
Yeah.
This guy, so we're one of the few two guys together. This one gets up and leaves during that scene.
During the you would expect to be the
homoerotic biggest homoerotic scene of the movie.
That's where I was going.
And then everyone sees you leaving, and then people are looking at you.
Well, maybe I had to do something in the bathroom.
Why would he leave? But you should do that after that scene because you want that in your spank bank when you go to the fucking bathroom.
Maybe I already saw the movie, and
so
I was
the
just
point
like,
is,
"Oh, this part, yeah."
And then he's coming back.
I don't know.
And as he's coming back, just to be an asshole, which I have a tendency to do, I yell out to you as you're like at the other side coming in, like, "You missed the best part!" And the lady behind us, who we'll get to, was like, "Ha ha ha."
Oh my goodness.
So then there's a scene. So lots of comedy. Some of it two jokes landed. I will say two jokes for me. Two jokes did land. One that didn't was Tom Cruise has to jump out Jennifer Connelly's window and lands on the ground. Yeah, I guess he falls. And then he looks in the window and Jennifer Connelly's teenage daughter is there. And she's like looking at him.
They were avoiding
And everyone's
her.
like, "Ah!"
It was the classic 90s sitcom trope.
It was terrible. But then she goes, "Don't break her heart this time." And everyone's like,
Oh.
And everyone is like, "Oh, this isn't a laughing moment." Except the lady behind us who went, "Ha ha 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 ha."
What was the moment where she did that the most?
That scene.
Was it that scene?
Because
Oh
I
my
think
God.
you
I
and
thought
I
it was
turned and
never
looked
gonna
at each
stop.
other. You and I turned and looked at each other, and I was considering turning around just to look at her like, is she going to do it again?
It wasn't even under her breath.
And
It was like she had to be the last person to do it.
she needed the whole fucking audience to hear her do it.
The same thing for laughing, and it came off so fake by the end of it.
Yeah, but so
She was a plant.
from
Scientologist.
Scientology. That's why she was fucking recording her book that you walked away. She's like, "Get to this guy's house. Show him more homosexual references."
But maybe she assumed that I went to the bathroom for other purposes, and I was happy about the movie.
Maybe she had somebody watching you from the bathroom.
Good.
Yeah, you ever think of that?
Put that on the internet.
Point is, then there was another scene. Shit, I was going to talk about this
That wasn't it.
fucking lady behind us, but I forgot it now.
You forgot what else she
The
did.
one joke that
She grabbed my chair. She got up at one point to go to the washroom or wherever she went, and to get up, she grabbed my chair as a railing and pulled back all the way. I'm just like, ugh.
maybe she was like, "Motherfucker, you won't leave your seat again."
No, it was before that.
maybe she was.
She
like,
did it first.
I dare you to leave.
I should have got up when I went to the washroom and got into her row and then left.
But yeah, so there's a scene. So when everybody's jacking off in the I was gonna say jacking off in the bathroom.
Whoa.
When everybody's jacking off in the bar room, Rooster, played by Miles Teller, who I actively booed when he came on screen. Yeah. I was the one guy in the audience who went boo when he came on.
But he won you over by the end because that's his character's role.
He did have one joke, and that one joke made me laugh.
Yeah.
But everybody does everything in this movie at such extremes. So he doesn't go over and just unplug the jukebox. He's got to go over and go, "Argh!" and unplug it with such force. You're like, calm the fuck down. And then he goes over.
Maybe it's glued in.
He goes over. It's like, I fucking hate these European plugs. He goes over to the piano, and the whole bar quiets down. So I don't know how many bars you've been to, but if a millennial with a fucking porn mustache comes in and just looks, and he's wearing like a fucking Hawaiian shirt, he looks like, what's his name? Jimmy Buffett. If he comes in,
I was going to say Selleck.
Nobody's going to fucking get the Jimmy Selleck. They might get. Nobody's going to get Jimmy Buffett. But so he comes in and he lifts up the cover on a piano and goes, dun 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 dun. Rock my heart and bad on my brain. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of love, man, sing. Great balls of fire. And he starts playing the piano, and I'd be like, okay. And then I can understand a bunch of millennials singing the Great Balls of Fire part
to a piano. Millennials.
I can understand them sing. I'm trying to suspend my disbelief as much as I can. I can get them singing the Great Balls of Fire. They all know the fucking song. Everyone in the bar knows it word for word. Word for fucking word. And then Tom Cruise looking in the window and he's like, that reminds me of when my dog stepped on a bee. But he looks in the window and he's looking at Miles Teller play piano. He's like, that reminds me of his dad. And he walks away and cries.
The girl behind us. Oh.
Oh. Oh. You have to do it 3 times. You
like,
have to sell it.
Just overdo it.
The one joke that does land, and I'm not going to spoil the scene, but I will say the joke, is he says, why don't you think? He goes, you told me not to think. And then Tom Cruise is sitting there looking at him, and then Miles Teller goes, like that to him, like, you fucking told me. That made me laugh. I was surprised that it did because Miles Teller is a huge douchebag, but that did make me fucking laugh. But overall, I thought I would be bored as fuck and I would have no interest. I'm never going to see this movie again, but I will say that for the action flight scenes, I was enjoying myself. It was fucking cool looking.
I would say that the action makes this movie worth going to see. I hate everything written in this movie.
Yeah, the dialogue's pretty bad.
I like the fact that he does. I like the opening scene, but that's action again.
That just on the aircraft carrier and all that bullshit? Right.
Not the aircraft carrier, the special plane.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to say too much, but I like the action scenes. I just hate all of the writing specifically because none of it was good. It was all like, it was basically Tom Cruise who wrote the script, if I were to guess. And then they got someone to go over and make sure that it writes like a script, probably.
Yep.
And Tom Cruise is like, don't change my work.
See, I have similar to that, but I feel like somebody wrote the script and then Tom Cruise came in and gave it the cruise treatment. He went on cruise control. Yeah. And then he figured out, okay, here's what works, here's what doesn't.
Cruise control doesn't work for that. It would be autopilot.
No, he was in cruise control because he's controlling it.
Okay.
That's why none of my jokes work. And then the director is a director that is like has no problem being directed by Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Because Tom Cruise, which, you know what? I'll say, dude, for the action stuff, it was fine. I enjoyed the action stuff. It wasn't as crazy and kinetic and you couldn't follow as I thought it was going to be. Because that's what I thought it was going to be. It was just a bunch of fucking...
No, if you think about it, if you actually think about what happened, it was very, like, simple. Mm-hmm. Super simple.
Which I think is the movie's strongest strength. Biggest strength.
Yeah.
Is that they basically have to do the Death Star trench run
Yeah.
from Star Wars. That is extremely simple.
Tom Cruise was watching too much Star Wars.
And he was like, I'm gonna make my own Star Wars.
Work for them.
And that's what it basically was. They have to do the trench run, and if anybody's, of course, seen Star Wars, they have to go down a long path, shoot a fucking missile, hit an exact spot, and fly away.
And I don't think we should say anything about after that point, because I like it's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Say nothing about it.
It felt very, of course we got to do this. You know what I mean? Of course we have to go here. I didn't see it. No, I didn't see that part coming. There was one thing in particular that I didn't see coming at the end. Tom Cruise. But I didn't see that part coming. And then when you look at your watch, when that happens, you're like, oh, there's still half an hour left. So something happens. But it was very...
Like it turns into a different thing. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it effectively turns into another Tom Cruise franchise. We'll leave it at that.
Pretty much. Like a little bit.
One thing that annoyed me was no one... Well, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but no one dies in this movie, which sucks.
That's a big spoiler. Why did you gotta do that?
Phil got me this.
Did no one...
Carnosine C4 energy drink.
Did none of these...
And I do enjoy it, but it's so carbonated that I fucking...
I thought someone from the new class died training.
Nope. They got hurt. Remember, they were in the hospital, but they were going to be okay.
He passed out. Okay. That's right. Jennifer Connelly died.
Yeah,
on
that's
a
right.
sailboat.
She gets murdered by her husband in real life, Vision. He comes back as Ultron.
That Jennifer Connelly stuff was just like...
so pointless.
Just pushed into this, and it's just like, oh.
Pushed. It was like fucking forced in.
If you took that out, and you put just a normal bar, and like that bar, but you put like someone else in charge, like Jimmy Buffett. I don't fucking know.
You know what, though? You got to admit.
It wouldn't matter.
It's legitimately, and you had this point, legitimately noticeable that Jennifer Connelly is closer to Tom Cruise's age than I think any other girlfriend he's had in any of his other movies. And you were like, when he's looking at the daughter.
Yeah, that was creepy. And I was like, oh, that's where we're going at the end. Okay, it's Tom Cruise.
He's 60, and he's gonna get in with her 16-year-old daughter.
It was just an awkward moment.
and the fact that Tom Cruise always has to have his female co-star be 25 years, or at least half of his age. You were like, it could go there. That's what's weird about this.
Yeah, totally. I was like, oh, what? And then they went, oh, okay.
To the
danger zone.
That's his danger zone, going after fucking 16-year-old girls. But no, I would.
Well, that's hidden by science.
Recommend it.
Science.
That's a Scientology thing.
Yeah.
That's when they're at the ripe.
After being coached.
Impregnation age.
Yeah. After their parents have spent lots of money indoctrinated them.
That's right.
If I can say it properly.
You say, hold my thetan.
Thetan?
Thetan.
Thetan?
What do they call that thing? That fucking thing that you hold on. It measures your thetans. There's a thing.
What's a thetan? Oh, in Scientology.
What the fuck?
Like a made up.
I'm talking about
a made up measurement scale.
The thetans that are in Top Gun.
I don't know. It's kind of like those.
Maybe that's why they need to fly
What's the Star Wars thing? Midichlorians.
Yeah, but midichlorians are real. No, sorry, other way around. Thetans are real. Midichlorians aren't.
What? One of these things aren't like the other. Wait, they're the same.
But yeah, I will never see it again, but I would recommend to go see it, especially 10. In IMAX.
Out of 10,
oh man,
2 young female co-stars that were hinted at being a sexual thing, but not.
How many Mavericks? How many Merlins would you give it? How many
Merlin engines?
Hand
Are we
bangers?
into SpaceX?
What's his name? Headbanger.
10.
Hand jobber.
Out of 10, what would you rate this?
Hand job. What the fuck's his name?
Okay. Should I start that?
Hangman. I keep on forgetting it because I keep on saying hand job whenever I make fun of him. And then I legitimately forgot what his fucking name was, but it's Hangman because he leaves you hanging. Out of 10? You know what? I will never go see it again, and I'll never watch it, but for the IMAX and the dedication.
On that point, before you rate it, so many people have rated this movie like the best movie of all time. And I'm like, No.
Now I think that helps people understand the reach of Scientology. Because
you're always going to. I don't think it's that easy to like just blame Scientology on this one.
Better believe it.
I think a lot of people are hyped up to this point, and sure, a lot of that hype comes from Scientology issues, like being able to put things in certain places, like.
What Scientology indoctrination videos are you watching?
Media spots and getting plugs and not those plugs.
Also, I think another reason why it's popular is it does remind you of the first Top Gun. It really does.
It does.
It's the flight scenes are better in this one, but just the way the story rolls out, it reminds you of the first one.
It's not all around a 10 out of 10. There's no way in the world. Like I could never.
I think in my life I've seen like maybe a handful, maybe 5 10 out of 10
I don't
movies.
do 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 has to be something that I will absolutely argue with anyone if they were to give it less than. You know what I mean? And you know that how I feel, because you and I have had arguments about 2001, which is for me a 10 out of 10 movie. But 10 out of 10 is it's a near impossible task. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no, this is not a 10 out of 10. For me, I'd give it a good, you know what? I would go so high as like 7 out of 10. I enjoyed myself while I was watching it. I'll never see it again. It wasn't pandering except when it was. And when it was, it fucking right over the top. So you won't be like, oh, that's what I thought. I would be going, oh my God, shoot me.
It's like someone who has skill did all the action scenes, right? And someone who just wanted to get it over with did the rest.
The dialogue, yeah. Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And that's what I think pushes me into a 7 is I legitimately thought, and you can watch the other podcast where I talked about it, I was like, this is going to be a fucking slog. I'm going to hate watching this. I didn't, the part where all the pilots are talking was too stupid to take seriously.
It's dumb.
But it was dumb funny. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for
people
that.
who are like the gearheads or like the macho bravado guys.
That's right. It was for this guy. It was for the guys who take Fast and Furious seriously.
Who want to watch that movie where the guys go like this to do the handshake.
I'm your wingman.
Yeah. Okay, so the story, not even the story, just the writing itself, the talking, the dialogue to each other.
The sign language.
The sign language. The guy in the corner that was the whole time. No, to me, that was like a 2 or a 3 out of 10. Just that.
But you know what he does when the planes are taking off? He goes.
You know what he does during the Nerf football scene. No one's watching me. I'm fine. The action itself alone is like 10 out of 10. It's the best action you could ask for. Like you would love this in Marvel movies. You would love this in anything action oriented. I would hope for this kind of action in Mission Impossible and James Bond and stuff like that. That's a 10 out of 10. So put them together. I'm at your rating, 7 out of 10.
Yep.
So it's worth going to see in the theater in IMAX. Just for the action.
I would not recommend to go see it in a regular theater. Go for the IMAX. You feel the it's one of those very few movies where, like the IMAX, when those fucking planes hit and you can see the actors in the fucking jets, like bang when it hits them, like you feel it when you're watching an IMAX, and that's what made a big difference.
And if you're wondering where would be a good time to pee, if you got one of those big Mr. Pibb extras with cherry, and you have to pee multiple times during the movie,
and you also had a pretzel dog,
which was okay.
You know what I recently had? I went to the pita pit. I don't really. I thought I would fucking love it because I love burritos.
My wife really wants to go get a pita pit, but she can't right now.
I didn't like it.
Anyway, if you want to know when to pee, anything involving Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, and not because Jennifer Connelly's bad,
not because she's bad,
but because the those scenes are worthless.
It's like
there's nothing to it.
It's connecting the dots.
Yep.
And there wasn't no connecting the dots about it. Take all that out. Seriously, take all that stuff we complained about out. You'd still have a really good movie.
One thing I will say too that was
probably better.
That was again much more touching than I thought it would be. Was when he goes and meets a certain. It's not really a spoiler because he's the second fucking name that's listed in the movie. He goes and meets Val Kilmer, and it was it was way more touching and honest than I thought it would be. It wasn't like fucking Lethal Weapon, where, oh my God, 2 more days to retirement. What am I going to do?
That was Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
I thought it was Stephen Hawking.
Nope. You know who it was, though? It was Steve Carell. That's why he shows up and says, Jim, Pam. And then Jim comes in dressed as Mr. Fantastic. And then gets sliced apart like fucking spaghetti.
You gotta ruin all my jokes. Like, you know, the ones that I didn't ruin myself.
I just let you go long enough. You'll ruin the joke yourself. Yeah. But no, that scene was actually genuinely, I was like, wow, this is really well acted. Really well done.
You gotta spoil all the movie for them, huh?
I didn't spoil all of it.
That's our job. You're supposed to watch the movie, then watch our show.
Yeah, watch our movie first.
Pretend you have friends this way.
Watch our movie.
Because then you're like, oh, I thought
Phil
this. And you're talking to the screen.
Are you going up in that plane? I am, Hangman. And then we like fucking fist grab.
Why are you touching me?
We do it. Hold on.
We're men.
Give me your hand. We're like this. God damn it. Hold on. Like, you have hands like a fucking bear. We're like this. Walk into the plane.
Let's go play Nerf.
Topless.
That was the most awkward thing we've ever done together.
It's because your fucking hands
are
like a goddamn bear. It's like being fucking raped by Andre the Giant. I bet you could crush my head in your hands. Anyways, 8 out of 10. No, 7 out of 10. And it should have been called Top Gun Maverick.
We're leaving now.
See, I just let you go long enough, and I don't even know what you're talking about.
What would you give yourself as a call sign?
Oh man,
if you could pick anything,
if I could pick anything, and it can't be like you can't go with like Dick Sock or like something like that.
That would be actually pretty good, depending on the character.
Dick Sock. I would have to do something Star Wars related. I don't know. I'd have to go. I'd probably just be lazy and go with Obi-3 because my birthday is 3/3. And Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor's brother is a pilot and his call sign is Obi-2. And I was like, that's pretty funny because Obi-1, Obi-2.
The issue is like people get these call signs as they're going through the schooling.
Are you sure?
Right?
Are you sure? I'm not sure of that. I don't know if you give yourself your own call sign.
No, you get it as you're going through the program.
Okay, that's one thing I had no idea about.
It's kind of like it's like going through college, right? You do something embarrassing and then that's your nickname. Like,
well, I remember like
I jumped on a pig and now I'm called
Pig Rider.
Pig Rider 3000 or something.
That's what I want my call sign to be, Pig Rider.
Better than Peg Rider.
Listen to that Revenge of the Nerds. All right, what's your call sign? Doughboy.
Why is it always fat jokes?
That was good though.
As I was going through the wrestling industry, my
Burger King. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I should just mute my microphone.
WatchingComplain.com.
No, God damn it! Finish your story.
As I was going through the wrestling industry as like a personality, because I used to host shows and stuff. I was called the Phil. It was very unique, I know. But then jokingly, people would call me the, like first name the.
Oh.
So that would be the perfect call sign, the. Because like it seems really boring, but then people are like,
they've shot down the what? the what?
Finish your fucking sentence.
Oh. See, how are you a wrestling commentator?
I'm not a commentator. Host.
Oh, I don't know what the host. I don't know what the difference is.
It's like this, but wrestling.
So with me, a constant fucking babbling fruitcake.
This is more,
what would you be doing?
This is more podcast hosting. That was more improv acting.
All right.
/ hosting.
So it's improv. Someone's wrestling in front of us. Holy shit, did you see that fucking drop kick?
I didn't do that, no. More like interviews.
Okay, interview me. I'm a wrestler.
Hey, Rob the Magnificent. How are you today?
I will kill Hulk Hogan. You will not be alive. Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, my goodness.
We're pointing at the thing. That'll be fun to listen to. I am
if you're,
the Ultimate Warrior.
If you're still watching and you're an audio listener, just remember that there is a video to all this crap. And you can watch my facial reactions whenever Rob is always talking.
I'll kill Hulk Hogan. That's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You're supposed to fucking interview me. So I like take over the camera and then it goes back to you.
I just let you go.
Hulk Hogan.
And I do the reactions and I'm like,
you have to be more animated in your reactions though.
It's in the moment.
You have to be like
you can't put me on the spot.
You know, we were watching
improv.
We were watching Jeopardy the other day, and it was the category was like sports and like fucking history of sports or something.
Best
and it was
ever.
What Hall of Famer recently opened like fucking this string of stores or something. I don't know. The one guy, his answer was, "Who is Nature Boy Ric Flair?" I'm like, I don't think Ric Flair won any fucking like Super Bowls, but he might have.
Maybe he was just like, I don't know, and I'm just throwing out a wrestler name because I'm a wrestling fan.
Maybe.
WatchingComplain.com. Thank you for staying this long.
You probably haven't. Did you skip to the end? Then you missed me going, I will stop you, Hulk Hogan.
As a reward, I'm taking off my pants.
What pants?